Hello, I'm EG and this is Crocheting with EG, and in this video I have a really small yarn haul that I'd gotten like a week or two ago from Michael's. I didn't film it back then because I'd filmed the Hobby Lobby, the big haul and all that kind of stuff, so I'm getting back to this. It's just 2 skeins because I had some coupons, and then this can be like one of my random videos where I have like a couple random things to talk about. So anyway, I'll start with the yarn haul. It's just 2 skeins. I had a 40% off one item coupon and a 30% off one item coupon. And you know me, I can't turn down a deal. So they, especially at Michael's, because their prices are higher. So because I had those coupons, I thought I'll go over to Michael's and I'll use them for some yarn. And so I could always use it for something else, but you know, But the easy thing in my head to buy at Michael's, if I'm going to use a coupon, is to get some yarn. And so I got 2 skeins of it's the Loops and Threads Impeccable, and one of them is this colorway. They're both the tweed kind of yarn, and so this one is called Charcoal Tweed. Now this one is it's like a really dark. It's almost black, but it's like a really dark gray, and or it's like a charcoal gray, like almost black, and then the speckles in it, like little flecks or whatever, the tweed, they're all kinds of like really pretty colors, like, you know, red and orange and yellow and green, and just like really pretty. It's real subtle. They're not like really pronounced or anything, but there's just like, you know, real subtle tweed flecks in it, like all these, you know, multicolors and stuff. I have one very similar to this that of course I haven't used yet, but I had gotten it, and I think it's this one right here. This one's a little grayer than this one. I think I got that. It might be Lion Brand or something. I don't have to like reach. I'm too lazy like reach like right here and pull it out. I think it's one that I'd gotten when I went to Joann before they closed. It might be Lion Brand, or it might be, I don't think it's Big Twist. I think it might be Lion Brand. But so I have one of these. This is I kind of like this one a little bit better because it's a lot darker. So there's that one, and then another one of those like olive green kind of colors, and this is like a tweed, and it's called Camo Tweed because it's like the green and camouflage, or it's like a dark olive color. And so I got these, and so but the thing is, I feel like such a cheap son of, I mean a cheap person. Like I went up to the register and I had the 2 coupons, and the guy scanned them both at the same time, and then he scanned both of these at the same time. And then I thought, okay, you know, and then I paid or whatever, and then I went out to the car, and I was thinking, it didn't seem right in my head, like the price or whatever. And I always like to check my receipts and stuff, because, you know, sometimes the prices change so much nowadays that you really do have to pay attention to your receipts or whatever, because you may discover later that, holy crap, that's like, you know, 50 cents more than what it said on the shelf or like whatever. And so I was looking at the receipt, and I thought it actually says coupons applied, and then the 40% off is listed there, and then it says coupons not used, and that was a 30% off. So I thought, like, and I felt like such a cheap person to do this, but I thought, like, he scanned them both, and he also took my my coupons and like threw them away behind the register, and I thought it didn't use the 30% off coupon. So number one, I felt like I had to go back in there because I wanted that coupon back. I could have just printed another one off, but still, but I thought, like, I want my coupon back. But I didn't just want my coupon back. I wanted to use it because I mean, yeah, I could have thought, well, at least I'm like supporting Michael's and stuff, and like I almost, you know, thought, am I going to go back in there just to get like $1.50? But then at the same time, I thought, you know, $1.50, that's the price of a clearance skein of yarn at Hobby Lobby, plus, you know, a couple cents more or whatever. So that $1.50 isn't like, it was hard for me to just say, oh, well, you know, $1.50. Like, that's a freaking skein of yarn from Hobby Lobby. So I went back in there, and I felt like such an idiot, because, like, you know, there he was, and then I had to say, like, yeah, when I did the transaction or whatever, and you know, scanned it, like one of the coupons didn't work, I felt like such an idiot. So what we had to do was I was like helping him, and so we were like looking at the receipts, and or I mean the receipt, because there's a couple of receipts because of having to, you know, get the money back. We were looking at the receipt and trying to figure out like which one of these got the 40% off coupon applied to it and got 40% off of it. So and we figured that out, and then he said, okay, what I'll have to do is I'll have to put in a return for the other one, and then scan it again in another transaction, and scan the coupon, the 30% off coupon with that transaction. So it was just so embarrassing. Like I just went through there and wanted to like use both of my coupons and get 2 scans of yarn or whatever and get the hell out of there. And I mean, I did look around, and of course there were no big there was no big twist or whatever, and there's still not any big twist or whatever by the time as I'm filming this. Maybe in the future, by the time this video comes out, I have no idea. But but still, I wanted to just get use the coupons, get the 2 scans of yarn, and get out. And then like all this stuff, and I had to go back in or whatever, and look like the cheapest person in the entire planet. Because like he was like, oh hey, and like because I like walked back in there, but then it was like, oh, he's just like some cheap person that wants to like get his $1.50 back or whatever. So it was just kind of embarrassing. I did it anyway. I didn't care because I thought like $1.50. So but I had to like put in for a return for the one, and then like rescan it and stuff, and like all this stuff. I was like walking out there with my $1.50 or whatever the hell it was. It was just sort of embarrassing. I mean, I would do it all over again just to save the money, but still. But that's what a cheap person I am, that I would do that. Ordinarily, like a long time ago, before I sort of embraced how cheap I was, I would just like, well, it sort of supports Michaels and stuff, and I'll just use the coupon on another day. But I thought, no, I want my $1.50 because I had the intention of using both coupons. So those are that's like the haul, and so that's basically it. But anyway, and so speaking of like Michaels and the whole big twist thing, these bags aren't as crinkly as the other ones, so that's kind of good because with my ear, or my left ear. It's another video. So like they still don't have any of the big twist, and I've been going in there like every time I pop into Hobby Lobby or whatever, like every 2 or 3 days I'll pop over to Michael's just to see, and like the yarn section is just like completely the same. There is I might have put it in another video. I'm not really sure. I filmed so many damn videos. I'm like 12 ahead at this point. So after this one's going to be 13. But they where the ring spun was, they sort of like moved the yarn that was like on the very end of the aisle kind of over. And then what's there now is like empty space, but all the little stickers on it. They say like BT Posh or BT whatever. And so which is weird because I know that like the Posh was relabeled as loops and threads, so I don't know why it would say BT, because I'm thinking like BT, the only thing that stands for in my head would be big twist. So like are they going to be putting the Posh in there in like one of the colors it said was like cantaloupe. I don't remember all the other ones, but whatever. So like I don't know if they're going to be just putting the Posh out, because I know that they relabeled one of the like Posh Pearl is loops and threads, or I don't really follow all that kind of yarn because I don't really use it, but it was just interesting to see like BT, but it was like all for the Posh, and I didn't see any stickers anywhere that said BT for the acrylics or anything. So I just don't see any spot for they don't even have the Posh filled up. So I don't see anywhere where they're going to put the big twist like the acrylics and stuff. And there's in that U that I keep talking about, it's just like stocked full of all this like clearance stuff, and maybe once all that gets put in boxes, because like at this point I don't see a lot of it gone. They're just gonna like throw it in those boxes and sell them for $10 a piece probably. Once all that's gone, maybe they're gonna put like a freestanding shelf. They've never done it before in my Michaels, but maybe they're gonna put like one of those freestanding shelves with like the new yarns. Like maybe they're gonna put one exclusively for big twist. This is like me just being hopeful, but at the same time I'm just like I'm getting so discouraged with it, and I do have a lot of yarn. I don't even feel like I don't even really care about it anymore, and I hate that because I wanted to support Michaels, but like there's some pretty colors in the big twist or whatever. But I'm just thinking, I just don't care about it anymore. Not just because I have all this yarn from Hobby Lobby recently, but like just because like the frustration of like constantly going in there and just like leaving with nothing but disappointment. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just don't have much hope of like them getting in the big twist. And so I don't know, because like even the cakes that are being clearanced in some of the some people's Michaels stores, like mine never even got those to begin with at full price. So I don't know. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, please. But like those these skeins over here, the impressions that or they're way over there now. I moved them, but like those impression skeins, you know, I bought the orange and yellow one or whatever, and then there were 2 of those, but then one of them somebody bought the second time I went in there, and then I got all the 3 skeins of the saltwater taffy. What I want to do, I don't know if it's gonna turn out right, or if it would even fit on this chair right. But like, I'd love to do like a back on this, like something I can kind of like, you know, put over the back of the chair in that, because that's a gorgeous yarn. I think that would be like really cool to put that on the back of my chair. But whatever. And so like in my videos when I was gonna like wear my mask and have this little like glitter thing, what I had to put on the back of my chair was this a piece of like sequin fabric to make it kind of glittery. But like, since these are like about crochet, I thought it'd be kind of cool to like make a back for my chair. I've seen a couple YouTubers have that on the back of their chair, and I want to do something like that, and I think that would be a really pretty yarn to do that with. But anyway, so I cleared out those 3 saltwater taffy because they're just so gorgeous. And then when they first got those in, they only had the 2 colorways, and they still only have the 2, I guess. And then the orange, there were 2 skeins, and then I got 1, but then when I went in the next time, the second one was gone. But now, like, even though they've been gone for weeks or whatever, they still haven't refilled them. They haven't gotten any more in to fill that space, so it's just like empty space there for weeks. And so I don't know. So like, even they finally got 2 new kinds of yarn, the impressions or whatever, and it was bought out, but now it's like they're not even restocking it or like putting in some of the other colors. And I don't know. I mean, they are like working around in the store. I've noticed that they're moving stuff around on the other side of the store, but they're not really focusing on that other side. And yeah, maybe they just have limited employees, and they don't have time to like do it as fast as you know me, this impatient person. I keep wanting to cuss. God, this impatient person. I'm just being too impatient or whatever, like looking for the big twist. And so I am disappointed every time I leave there. But you know, maybe I'm just like, and like, I think it was supposed to end up in the store in the fall, and so like technically it's not really fall. And so I'm sure some of these stores that are getting it in are like putting it out earlier than they probably should have. So maybe those stores are just extra lucky, and mine is just like on schedule, on the right schedule or whatever. But I'm just thinking about like the ring spun, how they drug their feet and never put the stickers out, and I basically bought it out clearance price, but you know they never even put the stickers out. So I don't know. Part of me just wonders if they're even going to get the big twist at all, but I don't know. That's just sort of a random thing. And then yesterday I went back to Goodwill. I talked about it in one of my other videos. When I was either the one where I was showing the big haul from Hobby Lobby, or the one where I was like setting up my second wall over there, those shelves over there in the corner. But I went to my Goodwill, reopened or whatever, and then there was there were like bags and bins and stuff of yarn or whatever in there, and of course I didn't get any of it, and not just because for one thing, it was expensive. Like there was a tub in there that was $27.99, and like yeah, there were a couple like big cakes in it, and a couple of those like Hobby Lobby cozy occasion kind of looking skeins. But then for the most part, it was like as much of old acrylics or whatever. But I thought like $30 for that, or $28 for that, you know, big thing, and see, that's why I don't really buy yarn in there very often. And it wasn't just because, like if it was nice yarn, I might have been tempted to just go ahead and buy it because of what a good deal it was. But like it wasn't a good deal. So I don't know. It was just like filled with all this old yarn and stuff. But like I went into Goodwill, and maybe because like there's all this influx of people, you know, going there to see the new Goodwill or whatever. Just tons of dealers in there too, which kind of I mean, they're just trying to like find deals to like make money or whatever, but like at the same time it's probably the reason why the prices are so high in Goodwill, because you know there's like people in there on their phone like going through there and like checking things and like typing in the thing or like scanning the barcodes and like checking. And so like Goodwill, you know, sees that's kind of stuff all the time. Like when they would normally put stuff out for like $2, they see somebody, you know, scanning on their phone, and then they see what it pops up on eBay as, and so of course they're gonna say, well, instead of pricing this at $2, we want to price it at, you know, $8 to try to, you know, get money that because like if somebody's going to make money off of this product, it might as well be us. So it's sort of, they're sort of responsible for not 100%, but like I'm sure that's a factor in why Goodwill prices are so high, because it was just weird to see so many people in there checking prices on their phones and stuff. But whatever, and so it's not even really enjoyable to go in there anyway, just because of the prices and stuff, and then especially seeing all those dealers and stuff in there. But when I went back yesterday, just to see, because like that first day, it was just like so chaotic and shoulder to shoulder people. It just wasn't I wasn't very comfortable in there, and so I didn't really get a good look at all the stuff. But I didn't find anything for myself. But my mom was with me; she found some things. But we were going through there, and all those things of yarn were gone. So I have no idea. Obviously, whoever bought it wasn't a dealer, because if they were a dealer, they would know that wasn't a good deal at all for all that old yarn. But I wasn't going in there to get it. I was going in there, and when I noticed, I was thinking, all those bins of yarn and bags of yarn are gone. Like, who the hell bought all that stuff? All that old yarn. But whatever. Probably somebody around town who thinks that their Hobby Lobby just sucks because they never have clearance yarn, because they don't realize that, I'm living in this town and buying it all, or not all of it, but most of it. And so they probably think, oh well, it's old yarn, but I can't find any deals anywhere else. Our stores never have any clearance yarn. Because it's over here. But anyway, so but I did find there was a bag like on top of a shelf or whatever. I didn't buy that either, but there was like one new bag, but even that was like I think it was $8 or something, and it was like some of that blanket looking yarn, but it wasn't even in like a skein. It was just kind of like this big clump in there, and it's just like a mess in there, but like all the way the yarn is and stuff, and when they had all those bins and stuff the first day, they had another one that was like taped like that, and I thought that really pisses me off. I know that those bins come in and they don't have the lids or whatever, but still, like if you're gonna put yarn in there, at least put like a piece of plastic over it and then do that, because like obviously they're not gonna they don't have the time to do that when they're sorting out all the stuff. But like if I worked there, I probably wouldn't be very effective, or probably wouldn't be very efficient or whatever, because I would be back there saying, well, no, I can't do all these other things because I'm trying to like put a piece of plastic over this, because if I do that, if I just put tape on it, it's just going to ruin the yarn, or it's going to stick to the yarn. I would be like, they would be like, get the hell out of here. We have like 18 shipments coming in from people, donations and stuff we need to sort through, and you're like worrying about putting a piece of plastic over some yarn or whatever. Just put it out. They would be nicer than that, but you know what I'm saying. I would try to protect the yarn, because it's such a nightmare trying to pull that tape off of that one bin that I got at Goodwill, and then there's still like sticky residue on the label or whatever from like having to peel it off, but whatever. So that's sort of a random thing that they had a new bag of yarn, and or no, it was $15. I did write it down. It was $15. I was thinking about something else. That bag was $15, like for that big clump of like the blanket looking yarn or whatever. And but of course I didn't get it. But it's just like a sort of a random thing. But it was kind of shocking to see so much yarn that first day, because my Goodwill hardly ever has it, and it's usually a sort of a rare thing. And then like all of us, like they were holding it back for the reopening or whatever. But I didn't buy any of it. Anyway, 19 minutes. Okay, a couple other random things. I did look up that word lyocell and polyamide. Those some of the yarns have that in it, and I didn't really know what lyocell was. Lyocell was in the stork struck from Hobby Lobby that I had gotten, and then the polyamide has been in a couple like random yarns that I've gotten. What polyamide is basically nylon, and so it's something that like helps reinforce the fibers or whatever, like give it structure or whatever. So it's basically just nylon. That's what polyamide is. And then lyocell, it's made from wood pulp, and it's sort of like an eco-friendly kind of way of making yarn or whatever, and it's really breathable, and it's moisture wicking, which I guess means that it sort of absorbs the moisture, so that if you make wearables out of it or whatever, it's not gonna like hold in like moisture or whatever, or it would like draw moisture from your skin, so you're not all sweaty or as sweaty as you would be if you were wearing like something that was made out of yarn. I guess that's what moisture wicking is. But so that's what that lyocell is. It's like an eco-friendly kind of thing. But I guess lyocell had nothing to do with what I assumed, that maybe since it was in the baby yarn, that maybe it was some kind of thing where they put it in the baby yarn because for babies it might be allergic to cotton or allergic to some kind of fibers or something. But no, it's just like some kind of eco-friendly thing. So that's what those are. And just another random thing. I saw a video. I can't remember who it was, but they were showing might have been like Cinnamon Stitches or somebody. They were showing that a Premier Trinket, and that's the yarn. Like this is that yarn that I got at Goodwill in an actual deal bin. But it has all these little puffs in it or whatever, and I'm sorry, Hexenwig, I still haven't figured out what the name of this is. He told me that if I ever found out like what the name of this is to tell him, because and like it's so soft and squishy too, like these little puffs or whatever. I still haven't found out like what this was. But it's just so cool, and like the colors that they don't they're not showing up as well on camera as they do in person. They're just like really pretty vibrant colors, almost in like this gradient sort of way, like an ombre sort of way. The way they fade into each other and like all the primary colors. I still haven't figured out what the name of this is. I've been looking all over the place and using as many keywords as I could find. This must be some kind of like random luxury yarn from a long time ago, because it was in that bin from Goodwill. But when I was saying that like what this reminded me of was like some kind of yarn I saw somewhere on YouTube or whatever, then I finally saw like Cinnamon Stitches. When I saw her video and she was showing the Premier Trinket, I thought that's the yarn I was thinking that this was. It's not. I mean, the Premier Trinket looks really cool. What I got wrong was when I was searching for it, I thought it was by Red Heart, but it's Premier. But this is what I thought the Trinket. I mean, when I first saw the Trinket, I thought that's what this was. Because I remembered that there was some kind of yarn that had some little puffs or little things that and it was like carry through yarn, but I couldn't remember. But like seeing it in her video, obviously this isn't the Trinket, but like that's what this reminded me of. But who I saw use this originally was Creative Grandma. And I guess because the thing I was searching for was Red Heart, maybe that's why it didn't come up when I was looking for it. And so that's who I saw use it originally. But then when Cinnamon Stitches posted a video and she was showing the Premier Trinket or whatever, I thought that's what the yarn was. And so then I saw Creative Grandma's video. I searched for it and I thought, oh, yeah, that's exactly what it was, what I was thinking of. So it sort of reminds me of that, but it's not like the Trinket. But like that Trinket does look really cool though. It is like sort of this thread that has all these little puffs and little things in it to kind of create sort of a texture and add extra color to yarn. It is a really neat thing. I haven't used it, of course, but it looks really neat how you can kind of carry it through things, and it's probably going to be the same kind of thing with this, where I'm not going to be able to carry this through something and create like some color and some little puffs. What I want to do is I'd love to like use this with like a really pretty yarn like that ice yarns, that Picasso or something, like because that's a really gorgeous yarn, or like that yarn from Michael's that I got practically free with one of those vouchers. The Facets, I think that is, like that kind of yarn, where it would be kind of cool to take like a really pretty yarn of mine that's is sort of like in my head a luxury yarn, and then like mix it with this to create something really cool. I don't know what it would be yet, but yeah, I don't want to just like use this with like some kind of basic a white yarn. I want to use this with like something really cool and luxurious. I keep saying that word. I don't have any really luxury or like technically luxury yarns, except for maybe those what are they called? Those twisted things, hanks. Those hanks that I got from the big markdown at Hobby Lobby. Like those, I guess, would be like technically luxurious because they're like hand dyed yarn or whatever. That's like the most expensive yarn I'm probably ever gonna have in terms of like being a luxury yarn. But I want to use this with something like that because it's really cool. But anyway, so if you want yarn that's sort of like this but not exactly the same, they do have the Premier Trinket, and I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just saying that's what the yarn was that this reminded me of. But anyway, and then this is sort of a random thing. It's not has nothing to do with crochet, but I was thinking about the whole like Wednesday thing, and as I'm filming this, the Wednesday promotion at Wendy's is still going on. Of course, by the time this video comes out in a month and a half or whatever, it's probably going to be over with. I hope so, God. But like I'd called up there, and the manager's going to save the little signs and all that kind of stuff for my niece, and so when they take them all down, and I called back up there, and another manager, said, "Oh, yeah, we have your name and all that kind of stuff, and all the managers know about it. When we all take them down, we'll call you, and you can get it." But like, what's pissing me off is like how much they're promoting it on TV or whatever. There's like a couple channels that I'm watching, and because I have like basic, or I have like a satellite, and I'm like watching TV or whatever. I'm just thinking, there's that damn commercial again for Wendy's, because like once the commercial is over with, then that means the promotion's over with, and I can finally get those signs for my niece and put it with her Wednesday collection. But I'm just like, every single time that commercial comes on, and I'm thinking, damn it, stop it, like stop promoting it, that's just like me, that I'm wanting to get that stuff for my niece or whatever. But that's just sort of a random thing. But I will get it, and I might show them in a video, sort of one of the videos that's sort of like this, where I'm sort of all over the place, and just show like the really cool things. But I think the coolest thing is going to be those like gravestones. I need to go back through there sometime and see what they actually say, but they have these like quotes on them and stuff. And like every time I drive through by there, probably going to Hobby Lobby or somewhere, or like Michael's every other day. Whenever I drive past there, I'm looking at them thinking, yeah, well, they're still out there, so I guess it's still going on. Or like, if I'm going from the other way, I'm thinking, oh, the poster's still in the window, like, but I'm just like, I'm anxious to get it for my niece. But whatever. And then I guess the only other thing I'll talk about is the whole Hobby Lobby thing. When I went in there, one thing I did find in Hobby Lobby was they're still putting out clearance stuff. As I'm filming this, it's like the end of August. So I don't know why they're clearancing out so much stuff, but they really are. But they had a whole bunch of glitter on, because how I said I love like glittery, sparkly things or whatever. And I do use glitter in some of my other creative projects, but that aren't crochet, unless it's like the glittery yarns. But like I'm talking about actual glitter. But they had glitter on clearance and stuff, and like ridiculously cheap prices. I couldn't believe it. Like this, it doesn't really matter. This has nothing to do with crochet. I'll get back to it because I want to talk about like the whole AI generated responses. I want to read through some of how ridiculous those responses are. That AI generates to give me suggestions of like what to comment to people. I just want to kind of read through some of them and just show how ridiculous they are. But like a really pretty glitters. This one was $1.12, like for this big huge thing. And then these were like not as big as this big one, but these were 62. This was 62 cents. It's pretty green glitter, and this one was 57 cents. So like really good deal on glitter. And then they had 4 of these like little tiny ones. And all of these, well, no, this one was $1.24. This one is kind of like that, like confetti. Or I'm not going to read through the because it's about, this channel's about yarn and stuff, so I'm not going to like read through every single the names of the colors. But like and then the rest, all these 3 were 62 cents a piece. All these things of glitter. It's just like the Hobby Lobby brand or whatever. Just these gorgeous glitters, and I'm going to use these for all kinds of things. But so it's not just the yarn that they have on clearance, but whatever. And the whole like AI. So like I said it in another video that like on my end, when I'm responding to people's comments on my YouTube, they added this feature, maybe because I'm the kind of YouTuber that like posts videos and stuff, and I reply to people in the comments, and I'm getting more comments and more subscribers and stuff. But like on my end, I'll be looking through my community tab, and it'll show like where you comment, and then underneath there, like where I can hit reply or whatever. There's like these 2 boxes. It's not there all the time. It's usually there if like the comment from you is like a little long. That are not as long as my comments, like the length of a chapter in a book. But like if you're like the comments that say like, oh I really like your video, heart, or something like that, I don't get any kind of AI suggested response. But like if yours is like a longer, like a couple sentences, then I get like 2 generated comments, like these suggestions that are kind of AI, that are AI generated, and they're supposed to be in my voice, and like I said, I'm never going to click on those. I want to like actually like I appreciate your comments so much. I actually want to take the time to write every single comment, and so but I just wanted to kind of like sort of roast how ridiculous these comments are. But anyway, so but they have those two suggestions, and some of them are like just sort of generic, and ones that like, oh well, of course I would say that. Some of them are just kind of like suggesting, oh, you can say this, and it's like, oh, well, thank you for your comment, I appreciate you watching my videos, or like it's like some of it's like so generic like that. But even then, when I type something like that, I'm actually the one that's typing them. I'm not like I'm never going to click on those to send a response. I would rather not even respond than click on some AI generated thing. But it's supposed to be in your voice. But it's sometimes it's not. It sounds so ridiculous and stupid. Like the AI me must be like a dumbass. Because like some of these responses are so ridiculous and stupid. And so anyway, so I picked out a couple comments. And then, so I'll read through the people's comments, and then I'll show like the ridiculous like responses that AI generates to give me a suggestion on what to respond. So I get to do a couple shout outs too, since I'm like reading their comments. But and I didn't write or I didn't save like what video these comments were on. I just put it in like a document. But Jody Belton 65 shout out. She said, you have a lot of yarn. It just boggles my mind. I see your variegated yarn collection. I love variegated yarn. I have made Afghans using variegated yarn. Okay, so that was her comment. And then, or I guess, or Jody could be a man. I don't know. Because I'm thinking about soap. Remember that show? So, let's see, TV reference. Sorry, I'm just assuming that Jody is a woman. So, but these are the two comment suggestions. Okay, or the responses. Thanks for watching. I don't know why. Like every time I say the comments, I do that stupid voice or whatever. Like, thanks for watching. That's what it sort of sounds like. Like some giddy idiot or whatever. But the AI me just sounds like a dumbass. But anyway, so so that's the voice in my head of what I sound like is an AI thing. So it says, thanks for watching. I can't believe how much variegated yarn I have. I can't believe it, really. Oh, I can believe it. I'm the one that bought the yarn in the first place and drug all that shit. I mean, sorry. Like when I get in joke mood or whatever, I cuss even worse than I do in my everyday life. But I could believe it because I'm the one that drags all this stuff into my house. So that was kind of a stupid thing to say. And then the other one was, I like to collect variegated yarn because it's so colorful, and I'm glad to find a fellow variegated yarn fan. Hey, fellow variegated yarn fan, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how ridiculous some of these responses are. And so, yeah, I could just like, I don't have to click on them. It doesn't really matter. And it's just a thing that they added, and they're not forcing you to use them. But I'm just saying, it kind of bothers me that they're even there. I wish I could just turn that off, but there's no way to really turn it off. And then Samantha Cross 3523, shout out. She said, great finds, e.g. We never find any. My little mouse wasn't even on. Great finds. See, I'm like such a lot. I use a mouse even for a laptop. Great finds when most people are like, they would have a touch screen or something. I was thinking they would use like the little touch pad, but no, they would use like a touch screen. They would be on their phones, like, but that's how much of a Luddite I am. I have a laptop, but I'm still using a mouse. But anyway, so she said, great finds, e.g. We never find anything like that in our thrift stores. Soon, though, you will need to sleep in the laundry room and let the yarn have your room. What on earth is grape jelly? Because she's from the UK. And so, like, and I looked it up, and I feel like I heard that over the years one day, because I know that, like, sometimes people from the UK have different, or anywhere in the world, that different places have different foods, and they're, it's like sort of a culture shock thing. They're like, oh, you have that in your country, that you eat that, and then like the same kind of thing in other people's countries. And so, but I feel like I heard that somewhere, that they don't really use grape jelly, or they don't really know what grape jelly is. They don't have grape jelly in the UK. And so she said, what on earth is grape jelly? And so, and I explained it to her that it's kind of like, because like over there they call jelly jam, and then jelly in the UK is what we call Jello, like gelatin. And so she probably thought like grape. In her head, she probably thought, because the colorway, what it was is the colorway of one of those skeins of yarn was grape jelly, and so she was thinking like of grape flavored Jello, like if you're in the United States, like grape flavored gelatin. But like over here in the States, we have like jelly like you spread on bread with peanut butter, and it's grape flavored. But whatever. And so these are the responses. It's stupid. Thank you. I'm very lucky with my thrift stores around here. I'm sorry that yours aren't as good. Ha ha. Like that sort of sounds like really snarky. Doesn't it? Sort of, because it's kind of like, thank you. I'm very lucky with my thrift stores, and then it's like, oh, I'm sorry yours doesn't have any. Ha ha. Like it's sort of like a bragging kind of snarky, a-hole kind of thing, where it's like, oh, I'm sorry that yours isn't as good as mine, and I'm lucky, ha ha, kind of thing. But that's the way I read into it, and how it would come off if I would have posted something that was stupid and ridiculous like that. But then the other one, I know I'll be buried in yarn someday, which I thought was, it was kind of funny if you think of it as like, having so much yarn that you're kind of like literally buried in it, like, some kind of hoarder situation or something. But like buried in yarn, it sort of sounded sort of morbid, which I never would have said. And then, the rest of it was, I'm not sure what grape jelly is either. I can't say that I have ever heard of it. Like, so AI has no idea that I'm from the United States and I know what grape jelly is. But like, I thought, how stupid to say that. Like, it's supposed to be based on like what you say in your videos. And so why AI thought that I wouldn't know what grape jelly was. I mean, like, if anything, I know what it was because I mentioned it in the video. Or like what I mentioned like something associated with grape jelly because of like the colorway name. Like, if AI thought, AI is just like, I'm just saying, this is how ridiculous they are, and why I thought to even save these things, because I wanted to, like, show how ridiculous this crap is. I'm not sure what grape jelly is either. I can't say that I have ever heard of it. Like, really? Are you kidding? So this is the kind of crap that I'm like, I'm having fun, like, typing my comments to people, and then I'll like come across one, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's like a funny comment or whatever, and I'm thinking, it sort of takes me out of it, because I have to like see these stupid responses when I'm like, trying to reply, and I'm thinking, instead of like focusing on like writing a nice response, I'm getting like pissed off, or just like almost like laughing in some ridiculous way about how stupid these are. So anyway, so I guess like AI thinks that I'm an idiot, or like AI me is a total idiot. But anyway, so then this one, Estela I don't know the name. Sorry, I took Spanish, but I don't even know if this is Spanish. ESTELAVEN USOROZ COALVARADO 8599. Sorry, I don't know like where the breakdown is in that. Like I took Spanish, but I'm not really sure where the breakdown is in that. So I spelled it out. I'll put your name on the screen. So shout out to you. But said, you were hilarious. Of course, it matters whether we can see what's on the video, because I think it was a video where I was saying that. Like I was down here on the floor, my big ass on the floor, like putting yarn away or whatever, and I said, oh, you can't even see what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter. And then I said, well, it kind of does, because if I'm like filming a video for YouTube, you kind of have to see what I'm doing. And so they said that, and so of course it matters. And then 2.0 and 1.0 walls are looking good. I hope they don't do what mine did and reach my second floor and the attic. And so that was like a funny comment. And then so these are the replies, suggestions. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed the video, and the wall is still manageable for now. That felt like an insult to me. Like this is supposed to be in my voice or whatever, but it felt like AI was like trying to tick me off about like making me like it's still manageable for now. Like I sort of like worry about that. Like I'm not worried about it. I'm just like I'm making jokes, but I'm just saying, like in my head, that's something that like I would worry about. Like is it manageable, and how much longer it's going to be manageable or whatever. Now it's like they're taking like something that is like this subconscious like fear that I may have if I get too much yarn, and they're like putting it out there like in my voice or whatever, and giving me suggestions like type that stuff. So it's still manageable for now, like comma for now, but whatever. It just kind of pisses me off, because like I don't feel that way, because it is manageable, but like now I'm thinking, you know, AI thinks that I'm like, that I think, you know, for now, like, maybe it might not be manageable one day. That just pissed me off. But whatever. And then the other one is, I'm hoping the wall will stay on the first floor. And like, but like I've said, and then there's like a little emoji with like the fingers crossed. Like, I'm hoping the wall will stay on the first floor. It is going to stay on the first floor. And I've said that in my videos, but anyway, that kind of ticks me off too, because it makes me sound like, you know, I'm worried that I'm going to get so overwhelmed that it's going to have to like go up to the second floor. I know I'm reading too much into this, but it's just, you know, it's ridiculous. But it's not going to go on the second floor because you know, the humidity is high up there and stuff. And I don't want my yarn up there, but whatever. And then Amy4889, who, like, shout out, she has been like commenting from practically the very beginning. So and I should have shouted you out a long time ago, Amy. God, I feel bad about that. But love the haul always. Love the haul always. Get so excited to see them all. And that rhymes. That's went through my head the way I read that. Love the haul always. Get so excited to see them all. Whatever. And so I didn't mean to like read it like that. But it sounded funny. And then thanks so much. I'm so excited to share all the new goodies with you guys. Like, I never say that. Like, I'm not, I don't mean to, like, you know, call it any YouTube or whatever, but like the way people, like, especially younger people, you know, I'm a 40-year-old like 40-year-old, and so like the way like these younger kids, people in their 20s or 30s, it feels like, oh, the younger kids, the way they talk on their like social media and on the videos they post on YouTube and stuff is like, hey guys, how you doing, guys? You know, like and subscribe, guys. They always say guys, and so like I never wanted to do that, and so I don't really talk. I don't say guys because it makes me sound like I'm, you know, it makes me feel like I'm some 40-year-old trying to act like a cool kid. You know what I'm saying? So I never say the word guys, and so it's just kind of pissed me off that that was suggested there, because like I never say that. And then, like, you know, the new goodies. Ooh, I got some new goodies. Like, I'm never gonna say that either. I got some new goodies at Hobby Lobby today. Like, goodies, but whatever. I'm sure people say that, but like, and not just, you know, younger people, but like, you know, when I think of goodies, I think of like snacks and stuff. You know, my big ass, you know, eating snacks. Like, those are goodies, but like, you know, this is like really good deals and stuff. But whatever. I have to plug in the camera. Hang on, I've been talking so damn much. Okay, and then Sunflowers 2838, shout out, said nice haul once again. My Hobby Lobby never, and again, I didn't write down the what videos these are responses to, but these are just comments I got. Nice haul once again. My Hobby Lobby never had clearance yarn. I was a bit no, I'm thinking like every time somebody says like my Hobby Lobby never has any clearance yarn, every single time I see a comment like that, I always say that well, you know, maybe they just don't have any clearance yarn, or maybe you live in a town where somebody like me lives, who's like going in there and buying it all before you make your way in there to look for it. So, which is probably true, but that's see, that's the kind of thing that I would respond to this, and might have responded. But whatever. So nice haul once again. My Hobby Lobby never had clearance yarn, and like I said, you know, it probably does, but you know, somebody like me lives in their town and probably bought it all, and then I was a bit upset. But I got a lot of clearance yarn at Michael's, and so like the one comment that I thought was ridiculous was, "Oh bummer," like with a sad face. But at least you got some yarn somewhere. Thank you for watching and commenting. Like, oh bummer. Like, I never say that either. But like, whatever. So I thought, how stupid. Like, I thought AI was supposed to like use your own words and try to like write it in your own voice, and so like it's weird that it's like pulling from like, you know, other kind of language to say like, oh bummer. Like, I've never said oh bummer, but whatever. Some of the AI comments, you know, put like, you know, ha ha with an exclamation point, because I do say that a lot, I realized, and or like the emojis and stuff, I do that a lot. So I can see why they do that, but like, oh bummer, I thought how stupid that was. And then Delia B1, shout out, said, I think of all the yarn we have as preparation for the zombie apocalypse, and I mentioned this in another video, how a couple of people have said that like we have enough yarn to like prepare for be prepared for the zombie apocalypse, and we'll all be warm with our hats, scarves, and gloves. Always have clothes, even in summer, and have things to trade. Oh, and that cowl is beautiful. And so, like, and I think I responded to her that, like, we'd be the only people in the zombie apocalypse who had, like, hand-crocheted handles on all of our, like, you know, zombie-killing weapons and stuff, which would be, like, kind of funny to think about. But whatever. And so, and I've also said that, like, like if we were in the zombie apocalypse, we probably wouldn't even realize it for like, you know, a couple months, because, you know, we would have so much yarn and stuff. We'd be in here like crocheting or whatever, and then the only way we would even know is if we had to like venture out for food, or if like we heard like a thump on our front porch and we looked out and there was like like, you know, some zombie or whatever like trying to get in, and we'd think like, what the hell? And then we'd go out, and then somebody would say, you didn't realize there was a zombie apocalypse going on or whatever. It's been going on for like 2 months, and then we'd be like, oh, I've been inside crocheting or whatever, but whatever. So it's just kind of funny to think about. But and then somebody, I forget who it was, said called it the yarn apocalypse. I thought it was funny. But anyway, so the responses to you know, Delia's were that's one way to look at it. Haha. I like to think of my yarn stash like that too, but I just like pretty things. Oh, that's stupid. And then that cowl was a quick. This pissed me off. That cowl was a quick make. The cowl that the AI and Delia was talking about is the one I made for Shell. And I said that cowl was a quick make, and I'm glad you liked it. I'm in full agreement about being prepared for anything, which is kind of a stupid thing to say, because it's supposed to be like a funny thing about the zombie apocalypse, and you know, I'm in full agreement about this, like really like official. I'm in full agreement about being prepared for anything, like whatever. It's so stupid. But like that cowl was a quick make. I mean, it was a quick make if you think of it in terms of like, you know, a couple days. But like it just kind of pissed me off to kind of like downplay my work or whatever. Like I made her cowl or whatever, and like, you know, and crocheted it and stuff, and weaved in all the ends or whatever, because like I change colors every 2 rows, and so I like weaved in all the ends. And I swear, Shell, if you're watching this, I'm not saying this to like say to like, you know, brag about all the work that went into your cowl. I'm just saying, I'm saying it in the context of this, like that cowl was a quick make. Quick, yeah, for AI, if it has no idea like the kind of work that goes into even something that seems a little quick, like changing colors or whatever, and like having to weave in all the ends and like, you know, sew it together like with the little twists that I put in and all that kind of stuff. But it's just kind of about like, you know, the AI thing was trying to, you know, make like I sort of downplay myself, or like I have like, you know, I have confidence issues or whatever, and self-worth issues and all this kind of stuff, and but like for AI to like put that in my voice, and, oh, that was a quick make, it just sort of felt like, you know, it sort of felt like AI thought that I was going to downplay it, and make it seem like it was a quick make, like it wasn't like the work that I put into it, you know, didn't it wasn't very long, or it didn't mean as much. But I sort of read into it, I thought like, screw you. No, anyway, I just think this is so stupid, all these stupid responses. And then I think the last one, okay, Sunflowers 2838, again, shout out. Said, great haul, nice yarns. I really love the aquarium metallic one. It was the one, the sparkle yarn. And then the suggestion was, I hope it's not too hard to work with, but I like that it has so many colors in it. Like, I hope it's not too hard to work with. It's like a medium 4 acrylic with like a little bit of metallic strand in it. Like, why would it be hard to work with? But whatever. And like, I keep saying how much I love the metallic yarns or whatever. I've never said, oh, it's just so hard to work with it, that metallic yarn. And then the other one was, thanks, I like that. Every time I do that, it's like that exclamation point. Thanks, I like that one too. I'm hoping to make a blanket with it, or at least some kind of piece to go on a wall. Okay, I'm hoping to make a blanket with it. It's like one skein. Okay, I guess you can like use it with other yarns to make a blanket, but I thought, how stupid. I'm hoping to make a blanket with it, or like, and see, like, it's weird that these are suggested when I never even once said in like, oh, this would make a great skein for a blanket, or like you would think they would go based off of or the AI would be programmed to like go based off of like what you suggest in the video that this yarn could be used for. But like, that's just kind of came out of nowhere. I'm hoping to make a blanket with it. Like, where the hell did that come from? And then or at least some kind of piece to go on a wall. Or on a wall, like you know, not these walls, like a random wall, like in my bathroom, like whatever. It's just, it was so generic and stupid. And some kind of piece, like the thing put words in my mouth saying that I could use that yarn for a blanket, but then, you know, or I could use it for some kind of piece. Hey, look at this new piece that I crocheted. You know what I'm saying? They could have at least suggested like something, like an actual thing. but whatever, to go on a wall. I'll just like I'll crochet some piece like that first thing that my niece made with her crochet, and like I'll just make a crocheted piece and just like put it on a wall, but not in here because there's no wall space or whatever. Because you know the yarn is just like I'm being buried in yarn or whatever. I'm gonna put it in my bathroom on a wall. But you know what I'm saying. So like this is the kind of crap that I have to read through, and yeah, it's kind of funny to think about, but it also kind of pisses me off because like I don't know that you know it's even there to begin with, but I just don't want you to ever think I'm clicking on this crap. Like if you ever read a response, I mean I say a lot of like off the wall stuff and everything, and make all kinds of jokes all the time. But like if you ever read one and you think, what the hell are you talking about? It makes no sense. Either I've had a stroke or I've clicked one of those stupid responses or whatever. So just know that like I'm never going to be clicking on these unless I'm like highlighting them to like put in a Word document so that I can come on here and roast it and make jokes about it again. Every time I read through, see now I'm wasting time reading through those things because I think it would be kind of funny to talk about it, but like I don't even want to address them. But like how can you not when they're just so utterly ridiculous? You would think I would like this, how ridiculous they are. I should just like post it and say oh, I just wanted to post this because I'm a ridiculous person and I appreciate ridiculous posts, ridiculous suggestions. But whatever, it's just so stupid. But apparently AI thinks I'm a dumbass, or the AI me or whatever is a total dumbass. But anyway, so anyway, that's just sort of a random thing. And but otherwise, I said that weird. Otherwise, I'm still in that kind of mood where I'm like, the way I was talking, like mocking the way the suggestions were, I guess. But anyway, but the only other thing, this is sort of just like a project idea I had. But like all this yarn that I keep buying at Hobby Lobby and stuff, and how I keep, the joke being that like I don't want to shop there, but I do love their yarn, damn it, that the whole thing. Why I keep saying it, because I do love their yarn and stuff, and I do love like the glitter and the deals and stuff. And I don't want to because of obvious reasons, but like but I that's why I sort of jokingly say that. And they're a big multinational corporation, whatever. They have a monopoly on craft stores. They can handle my ridiculous ass. I'm saying it to like a couple hundred people on YouTube or whatever. It's not gonna cut into their business. Nobody's gonna stop shopping there because that guy said comma damn it, whatever. So it's just like this funny joke to make me feel better about shopping there. But I thought it'd be kind of funny, like these cuffs that I make, or like the slap bracelet. What I thought I would do, because like I figured out the stitches when I'm still making those the pride ones with the pride flags, and so I have the number of stitches to go like this way. With this with this that I made, I went like back and forth this way, but I have the number of stitches to go this way, and I thought like what I could do, I want to try to plan it out. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough stitches to do this, but kind of make like and I'm gonna really simplify it for myself because I'm like making this logo tapestry out of that like grid tapestry crochet kind of thing where you have to like change colors every couple stitches or whatever. Like that was a nightmare. I love this. It represents my logo perfectly, but like it was a nightmare, like all the bobbins and all that kind of stuff. I'm just not really looking forward to like making another one of those, as cool as that is, but and as cool as the whole concept is, and especially as a graphic design, I do a lot of graphic design too, and I know how to like design things in pixels and like making the grids and all that kind of stuff. And so but I'm just not really looking forward to that because of like what a nightmare it was to make that all the different bobbins and have to change colors like every 3 stitches or like whatever. But I thought it would be kind of funny because this is like a very small thing. I could do something like this. But what I thought it would be funny to do is make like a I'll probably make it like the base of it white, and then the letters orange, like Hobby Lobby's logo. And this is just something that I thought would be funny, for myself. Of course, I'm not going to sell this stuff. I'm just saying this is just like a fun project that I thought would be funny to like to wear and like in a video like once or whatever, just like a fun project because like you know, a lot of the projects I have, they're like little, like funny ideas in my head. They're not just like, oh, guess what? I have the idea to make a blanket today. Like, I have like so many really weird, because I'm an overly creative person, and so like I come up with all kinds of weird creative things to do. Like to think of all the stuff that I've made for my niece and how sort of like off the wall and weird and unique they are and stuff. It's kind of like that, where I sort of have ideas like that more often than like, oh, I want to make a blanket. Like I do have some really traditional kind of ideas, but like I have some really off the wall creative ideas too. But I thought it'd be funny to like figure out how many stitches there are, and like in my graphics program, you know, create a grid or whatever, and then try to like and use like color the pixels or whatever to like, you know, create a grid, and make one where like not from like the center part where like if you're wearing the slap bracelet, like the part that you would see like this or like this or whatever, it would say like an I, and because their logo is very squared off, like the letters of H and L for Hobby Lobby, and I thought I could put like an I, like, you know, just a line, so I heart HL, you know, because I hate to admit it, but I really do like love their yarn and all that kind of stuff. There's things about it that I don't like, you know, the obvious things, but like I do love the store being like the, you know, all the place for all the deals and all the yarn, how nice it is and all that kind of stuff. So I thought like it'd be funny to put like I heart HL, you know, in that they're orange, like the text would be in orange, and then when you flipped your wrist up like this, or you, I'm not gonna make these for other people. It's just for me, just like this funny joke for me. But like if you flip my wrist up like this, there'll be like a comma, like the shape of a comma, and then a D. So like, you know, I heart HL, comma, damn it. Like I thought that would be kind of funny. Like, see, this is the kind of, you know, ridiculous, stupid shit. I mean, stupid stuff that goes through my head of like, you know. I can make all kinds of like really functional things and like make blankets, and I am making blankets and all that kind of stuff, but like I make like ridiculous stuff like this. It's like, you know, only for myself or whatever. But that's how much I love crochet, and like I want to make like, you know, funny stuff for myself, and or like those ridiculous scarves for those dolls in there in the kitchen, or like, you know, those they're not looking. No, they are. No, those adorable ugly dolls in there, and or like, you know what I'm saying. I have a lot of like weird creative ideas and stuff, but that's like one I thought would be kind of funny, and like I could wear every once in a while in a video. Like if I get like some yarn from Hobby Lobby, and I could just be like, you know, I love this yarn, you know, comment, or I mean, I love, or maybe I should put like TY. That would be kind of funny too, instead of like HL, but like because I love their yarn more than like, you know, the store itself, just because of, you know, obvious reasons. But like it'd be kind of, maybe I should put like I heart TY, like I love this yarn, and then comma damn it on the underside. That'd be kind of funny, because then like if I have the confidence one day like walk through Hobby Lobby wearing it, it would be kind of funny if it says like HL and like in orange. They would probably think, oh, it means like Hobby Lobby. But like if it's just like TY, oh, he must love Beanie Babies. Oh god, I used to collect Beanie Babies all the time. Although part of, or I still have one, one that's that rainbow bear, but I forget what his name is. But a piece. That's what it is. But I used to collect Beanie Babies. Like I've been a collector since childhood. I don't just have like all kinds of like, you know, I Love Lucy collectibles and Harry Potter, and then all kinds of DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff, and now yarn and like all these other collectibles and all these little mini collections. I used to collect Beanie Babies all the time. I had just like a ton of them. But whatever, that'll be like a funny story for, you know, later on. But like I love TY, like, you know, the Beanie Baby, that's what it means. But it really in my head it would be I love this yarn, comma damn it. Like kind of funny. So I might do that one day. But anyway, so that's the end of this ridiculous all over the place video, God. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video, whatever the hell this is going to turn out like after I edit it all together. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I will respond to your comments, and maybe you can, like, you know, pad it out a little bit and make your comment a little bit longer than you normally would have, so that I can get a couple extra AI responses or whatever, so that I can, you know, like make a part 2 of, like, you know, roasting the AI comment response suggestions or whatever. But whatever. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.